realized my microphone wasn't close to my mouth. Oh my gosh. So I have this new setup in my office. And I just realized, like, the whole time I was talking to Brooke, I didn't have my microphone here. So yeah, my background looks way different than it used to in the past. And I changed it around because I'm not only talking to franchisee candidates, I'm also talking to women in my community. And so I'm trying to represent a very neutral brand with all of my businesses at this point. So that was why I had changed some things around. But you know what? I got new furniture. And in my office, I got a new desk, I got a new chair, I changed things around. I feel like fantastic. So, Brooke, like when we talk about breaking free from what's holding us back, maybe the clutter, the like big thing on my desk that went up and down, all that stuff was kind of like taking up a lot of space for me. Knowing that I had my Leap brand behind me and I was going to be talking to franchise candidates and all this stuff felt really heavy, like I wasn't ready to leap into that kind of other side of my business and other area of my life with my husband with launching this franchise for Phoenix Drone Pros. So I have to say that is a huge lesson I learned over the weekend, which is sometimes you just have to like clear up your space, whether it's getting new furniture or just kind of revamping or painting or moving things around or decluttering. Like I got rid of so much stuff and put it in bags for donating, and I cleaned out my closet. I also just really kind of threw a lot of stuff away that was in my office that I didn't need. So I'm sure as a life coaching goddess, Brooke, you have some advice for us on how we do this. So do you want to introduce yourself to everyone on this awesome Monday morning? Today is June 10th, 2024.
Yes, of course. So I'm an RTT therapist and trauma recovery coach, and I can't say enough about decluttering your space. I feel like it just energetically makes everything feel good. And I feel it's the same way with our mind. For us, like that's what it was for me. That's my story, is to have to say that what made me actually be able to break free what was holding me back was like cleaning up the mess and the clutter that was inside of my mind. So not just on the outside, but recognizing that I had so much chaos internally. And that's what was holding me back, was those stories from actually embracing who I wanted to be in that best version of myself.
Oh, the stories.
Mhm.
Oh,
The story.
Oh, the stories, right? Like my favorite story that I think so many people can relate with is I have so much to do and they struggle to sleep
Mm,
because their minds are like, but I have so much to do, but there's so much you need to do and you need to think this through. And then they're like fighting, like, do I go to sleep right now? Do I get up out of bed? Do I do my work? That seems to be a
mhm.
very common one that I hear where people don't sleep
Yes.
very well because they let their like monkey mind go. Now, I have a completely different philosophy on that, and I will share that with you today and everybody out there that's watching the video. My philosophy on sleep is I'm not going to be any good to anybody tomorrow if I do
Mm,
not get my proper sleep. And I used to think I was this like massively awesome person because I slept like 4 to 5 hours a night in corporate America. And it was like early bird gets the worm, sleeping's for people who are dead. By the way, I went back and looked at photos 6 years ago or 8 years ago or whatever it was, and I have actually looked younger today than I did in corporate America because I'm taking care of my body from the inside out. I'm drinking more water, I'm hydrating, I'm sleeping like 7 to
mhm.
8 hours a night. I think that makes a huge difference. So, you've got to share with us, Brooke, what are some of your tips for people breaking free of kind of these, I think they're traumas because they're from
Mhm.
childhood, a lot of
Yeah.
them. But what are these that are playing in our head, whether it's fear or abandonment or trust or all of these,
Yeah,
issues that we carry with us?
for sure. I think a lot of the story is the lack of trust in self. So not only do we maybe we don't trust other people because of our traumatic experiences or past experiences where people did wound us, but also the fact that we don't trust ourselves. And I think as an entrepreneur and a business person, that was one of the biggest lessons I had to learn, that like I didn't need to go and seek everything outside of myself. It got very confusing. It was like, okay, how do I trust myself to know that what I have to offer other people, the what I bring to the table to help others heal or move forward in their life is because of my life story and my experiences. Because sometimes we get stuck in those belief systems of, the I am not enough, or I'm not worthy enough to do this, or who am I to go and tell people what to do or how to live their life. Well, we take these experiences from our life and we show up because of what we've learned, right? And we have something to offer and something to give, but sometimes those stories are really holding us back. And I find the biggest piece, when we talk about that monkey mind, is really being able to slow down. As an entrepreneur, we kind of always are like, oh my God, I gotta go, go, go. And that's where we like lose the sleep and we're always worried about, oh my God, where am I gonna get my next client? Or where am I gonna get this? The worry is what stops us from truly being able to hear the creativity and the messages inside to be able to move forward in our business.
1000%. I want to ask everybody this question. What has worry ever done for you?
Mhm.
Ever? Like
Yeah.
nothing. It literally
Mm.
hurts our body. We're worried that we're not going to get this project done in time. We're worried, like you said, that as an entrepreneur, where am I going to get my next client? And I have found that worry, if you look on a scale, worry is like at the bottom of the scale of emotions. So, what does that tell
Mhm.
you? If you're at the bottom of the scale of emotions, you're attracting kind of people, places, things, and events at the bottom feeders. I'm just going to
Yes,
be honest. That's
totally.
really where it comes from, right? So
Yes.
when people ask me like, why are you always in such a good mood? And I'm like,
Mhm.
because I can choose how I want to act. And so there are going to be times in my life where I'm really sad. I mean, one of my best
Mm.
friend's husband passed away and I've been grieving and I've had grief and
Mm.
I'm sad because of a person that was in my life is no longer there. And I think that's okay to lean through that, but bringing other people into your circle that can support you through that. So, what do you offer when you talk to individuals about how important it is that their network that they're surrounding themselves with and the people for them to really be that best version, right? Because you can't break
Yeah.
free and be the best version alone.
No.
There's other people involved in that. What does that look like for
Yeah.
you?
I know for a lot of trauma survivors, particularly, we're very hyper independent, which means we're like, oh, we can just kind of take care of everything ourselves. But the problem is that if you don't have the right support system and you are an entrepreneur and a business person, right, you need a support system. You need someone to bounce ideas off of. You need a mentor, a coach, a therapist, maybe all three of being able to really have this self awareness within because you're going to have blind spots. You're going to need someone to help provide you the awareness around those blind spots and help kind of hold your hand through the process, right? As well as women, right, that are a network of women that are maybe in the same space as you, right? Maybe they're trying to build a business, and you guys can talk about and collaborate and connect about what your struggles are and learn from each other, right? And I feel like that's the biggest piece is like the lack of the human connection. We try to do everything on our own, or look at just social media. It's like, no, when we have that human connection, we really do learn so much from each other. And that's really about the support that you can have. It's
Oh yeah.
available for you. Mhm.
There was a client of mine about 8 months said she was sitting in church on Sunday and the pastor said, we as individuals are drowning in content and we're starving for connection. And for me, it's the whole reason why I built this whole Leap community was for the
Mhm.
connection piece so that as you're building a business, you don't feel alone. As you're building a business, there's other women in the organization that feel like you do, are going through what you're going through. And so it's a place for you to reach out just to have connections with other women to say, like,
Mm.
I know you're feeling what I'm feeling. Maybe I'm just having a bad day and I get really close with a few of the women to where I'm texting them on a regular basis. They're helping me feel better. I love having strings of women in my life that are bigger, big support systems for me because I
Mhm.
love it when someone shares a win or they share that they're struggling that day. And I watch the text strings of the women that come to their rescue and say, it's going to be okay. So
Yeah.
if we really want to break free and become the best version of ourselves, we can't be tied to anything in the past that happened. Like I could
Mhm.
allow everything in my past to tell me I'm not good enough today to do what I'm doing. And I literally sit and do affirmations in the mirror. I meditate. And even this morning, I had some things come up for me from childhood and abandonment.
Mm.
And it was like, whoa, that's probably what was stopping me feeling like maybe I'm not courageous enough to take this next step or nervous about
Mm.
taking the next step. And so I do all this shadow work because I want to, I'm like, I have this one life. Why not become the best version I can be? Right, Brooke?
Yes,
So I'm
so
sure
true.
with so many of your clients in working through that, what is someone experiencing that they come to hire you? What's going on in their life where they say, "Hey, Brooke, I think you're the right person for me to work with."
A lot of women are really stuck in, if they've had past experiences like you just talked about, like when that trauma keeps popping up, whether they have PTSD or this complex trauma from abuse and abusive relationships, it's kind of keeping them stuck. They're recognizing that there's something not right. Like they're up and down. So they're emotional roller coaster, right? It's like one minute they're happy and the next minute they're like completely shut down and fully depressed. So they're recognizing that something's not right. They just don't know how. They're looking for and desiring that peace in their life or some calmness and being able to access more of their authentic self. And I think that's the biggest piece about, what you're talking about is like when we kind of get in this space where we don't really know like our next move, a lot of the times it's because our nervous system doesn't feel safe to like maybe create that next goal or do that thing that we've always wanted to do because perhaps we've been so dysregulated for so long from the past trauma, from the past stories, that we're not able to create what we want to create because our body doesn't feel safe to do it. So we're going to be holding ourselves back unconsciously not aware of that, right? So it's where the self-awareness really piece comes in to say, okay, well, why am I not doing what I've been wanting to do? Well, I'm at the same place as I was last year, right? Where I'm still like spinning my wheels and not really creating what I want to create. Well, something deeper is going on that you need to discover.
That's it right there.
Hmm.
So if you're that person and you feel like, why didn't I apply for that job in corporate America that I wanted and someone else got it and I know that I could have done it better than them? Why didn't you do that? Why aren't you leaving maybe the company you're with that you're unhappy and going to find another job? Why aren't you starting that business? So I'm glad that you said that because that really kind of leads me into why someone should reach out to you. If they're feeling they don't know that they need you sometimes even, right? I feel like
Exactly.
they're just like have these same patterns and it's like you will not break a pattern until you break a
Hmm.
pattern. Like you'll
Until
just
you
keep
see it.
doing the same thing. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Until
Yeah,
you
so
know it. Yeah.
lifecoachinggoddess.com. We have all of that at your fingertips right there where you can click on it with your mouse, you can click on it with your finger if you're watching this on
Mhm.
your phone. We also have a few other places that I would love for you to follow Brooke. So you can find her on Instagram at Life Coaching Goddess. I love Instagram. It's my favorite go-to. It's the first one, I'm usually posting on, but then it like goes to a lot of the other pages. I also use LinkedIn a lot. And I have heard some people say like I'm more professional on LinkedIn than the other pages. I'm like, why not just be you everywhere? In
Yes.
every page. Like, be consistent and be you everywhere. Why do you need to button up in one area or
Mhm.
not button up in another area? It's like, I don't know where that comes from. It comes from conditioning of what we're supposed to be, I guess. I'm saying that God said you're supposed to be you.
Mhm.
Just just you. Yeah, just you.
Authentically you. Yeah.
I love that. And then you can go find Brooke. We've tagged her on Facebook. So if you're watching on Facebook, we've tagged her. All you have to do is click on there and go follow her on Facebook and tell me about Calendly. So is this going to get someone a call for them to really understand if you're going to be able to serve their needs and they can explain to you what's going on in their life and you can let them know if that's an area that you feel like you could do some work with them in?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's just a one-on-one call to just kind of experience like what I do, how I can serve you, and if that's really a good fit for us, for each of us.
Yeah, I think that's smart. Here's what I'm going to say. Getting to where I've gotten to today and all the work I've done on myself that I've done with other people. Like I even had trauma last week and couldn't figure out what it was and was like, okay, I'm finally going to go get acupuncture to solve my neck issue. And I get there, had nothing to do with any of that. It was all energy. And there were 4 things that I was holding on to. And they identified the 4 things without me even having to say anything. And then emotions came up for it. I was able to release it all. And I had some pretty big leaps in my life last week because I listened and they said, this is what you need to do. And I was like, I know that already. I've known that already,
Mm,
but I just keep putting myself through the pain. Why do we do that? Right? We're holding ourselves back. And I think that's what really led to that, kind of change and transformation in my office over the weekend, which was like, I just needed to get rid of some of those smaller things. So it is
it
constant
is.
work, but we can't do it alone.
No, we can't. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't do it alone, and I never will. I feel like I will
Yeah,
forever have a coach, mentor in my space to make me, uh, continue on that journey.
for sure. All right,
Mhm.
lifecoachinggoddess.com. You guys all heard it here. Please connect with Brooke on LinkedIn, Instagram, as well as even on YouTube. We'll have all of our links there. This is a great time for you to just see if Brooke is a good person that's going to be able to assist you for what you need. Remember, if you have consistent patterns and things aren't like blissful every day, you've got work to do. I'm just going to say, if things aren't blissful every day and you are not ecstatic like Brooke and I to get up and start working on a Monday because we absolutely love what we do, then you really need to have a conversation and get a team of people around you and individuals to help you because it's a tough journey. It's not easy, right, Brooke? It's
No,
not.
it's not. Nope.
It's not easy.
There's no destination, it's just a
Yeah.
journey. Yeah,
It is. It
for sure.
is. And we never know when it's going to end because new things come up all the time. So, Brooke, thank
Mhm.
you for letting me
Thank
spotlight you
you.
today. Thank you for being a member of the Leap community. This is where we give you grand visibility for your brand because you have to tell everybody about you and how you get to build long lasting relationships. So, you can all come join us at any time over at the Leap community here on LinkedIn, or you can go to ColleenBiggs.net and find out all about it. Until next time, to all of you, be you and be strong. Bye bye for now.